Hi and welcome to today's episode. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever worked so hard on a message, a sales pitch, a presentation, a heartfelt confession, only to get almost no response? But then you see someone else say something very simple, and people agree, buy, say, yes, so easily. Today, we'll talk about a hidden layer of influence that happens before the message itself. This is the world of persuasion, a concept popularized by Robert Cialdini. The idea that what happens before you speak is just as important as the words you finally say. Part 1: The seed in the soil. Imagine this with me for a moment. You're holding the best seed in the world in your hand, but you throw it onto hard, rocky ground. No matter how perfect the seed is, it will not grow. That's exactly how communication works. A great message, in the wrong mental environment, will not take root. Right now, I want you to pick one real situation in your life. Something you want to sell. A change you want your team to accept. A conversation you want to have with someone you love. Hold that in your mind. We'll come back to it near the end of the episode and design your own piece of persuasion together. Part 2: How a tiny change in the question changes the answer. Let's play a small experiment together. I'll ask you 2 questions. Just answer silently in your mind. First question: are you happy with your life right now? Notice how you feel. Now second question: are you unhappy with your life these days? Suddenly, your mind starts searching for proofs. Where am I unhappy? What is wrong? The life is the same, but the frame of the question shifts your attention and your emotion. That's persuasion. You're already being guided before you even start thinking about your answer. Part 3: Music, wine, and invisible influence. Now imagine you walk into a wine shop. There's soft French music playing in the background. Without anyone telling you what to buy, you're more likely to pick a French wine. But when the shop changes the music to German songs, sales of German wine suddenly go up. When customers are asked why they chose that bottle, they never say, "Oh, because of the music." They believe, sincerely, that it was their own independent choice. That's the magic, and danger, of persuasion. It works before logic kicks in. If you run a cafe, a clinic, a store, even a classroom, take a quick look around after this episode. What music are you playing? What images are on the walls? Do they match the emotion you want people to feel before you talk to them, sell to them, or teach them? Part 4: Are you adventurous? Identity before action. One of my favorite findings is incredibly simple. Humans love to repeat themselves. We buy the same brand, eat the same things, walk the same mental paths. Getting people to try a new product or a new brand is very hard. But researchers found that just asking people a short question like, "Would you say you're an adventurous person?" changes everything. Many people say, yes, because that's how they want to see themselves. Then, when they're offered a new drink, a new brand, or a new experience, they are much more likely to try it. Why? Because they now see themselves as adventurous, and they want their actions to match that identity. So next time, before you ask someone to try something new, you might start with, "Do you like trying new things?" That's persuasion, soft, gentle, but powerful. Part 5: Trust first, then persuasion. Another story I love is about a car salesman who wasn't particularly charismatic, yet consistently outperformed everyone else. His secret? When visiting customers at home, he would forget some brochures in his car. Then he would ask, "Would you mind lending me your house key so I can go grab the brochure and come back in?" The moment the homeowner hands over that key, something important happens inside their mind. If I trust this stranger with my house key, he must be a trustworthy person. From that point on, selling becomes much easier. Because trust was built before the pitch even began. Ask yourself, how can you create trust? Not by talking about how trustworthy you are, but by designing a situation where the other person naturally feels they already trust you. Part 6: Images, clouds, sofas, and finish lines. Persuasion also lives in the images you show people before they decide. In one study, a website selling sofas tested different background images. When the background showed soft, fluffy clouds, visitors were more interested in soft, comfortable sofas. When the background showed strong, durable objects, Visitors shifted toward sturdy sofas with long warranties. Nothing about the products change. Only the mental lens change. In another example, a call center raising donations decorated one room with a poster showing a runner crossing the finish line. The team working in that room raised significantly more money than those in a normal room. The environment whispered to them, "Finish strong. Keep going." Now, look around your own space, your desk, your office, your phone wallpaper. What are these images silently telling you to become? Part 7, your mini pre-suasion design exercise. Let's go back to that real situation you chose at the beginning of the episode. It could be a pitch to your boss, a conversation with your partner, a sales call, or even a social media post. We're going to design a small piece of pre-suasion for it. You can do this in your head, or jot it down later. I'll give you 3 guiding questions. What will they see, hear, or feel before your main message? A certain type of music? A particular image? A calm, warm atmosphere? What simple question could you ask that nudges their identity in a helpful direction? Do you care about? Do you see yourself as someone who? How can you create a moment of trust or goodwill first? Doing a small favor, giving something that truly matters to them, admitting a small, honest flaw before presenting your strengths. Choose just one idea to try this week. You don't have to tell anyone you're doing it. Simply observe what happens when you shape the before. Closing, the power of the moment before. Can you? Let me leave you with one simple sentence. Very often, what happens before you say "can you" determines whether you'll ever hear the word yes. If you already have a good message, a good heart, a good intention, don't let it get lost in poor timing or an unprepared mental stage. Start by designing the before on purpose. That is pre-suasion. If this episode gave you at least one new idea, share it with someone who needs a gentler, smarter way to influence. Not by forcing people, but by preparing their minds with respect. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again in the next episode.